Hi, Kelly.
Hey.
What's that in your hand?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Styrofoam insulation.
It's styrofoam insulation. And we're actually pretty much done. We actually forgot to make a video about this. So before we put our absolute last piece of styrofoam in, well, it's not really our absolute, but until we put the last decent piece of styrofoam, I figured I'd show you. And of course it happens to be on the darkest side of the trailer, so the lighting in here is terrible. But so as you can see, we've got, gosh, the lighting is just awful. We've got most of the styrofoam in. Now the styrofoam on the channels, or the channels that run across the trailer, they're actually C-shaped. It's not flat. It's flat on this side, but it's not flat on that side. So what we have to do is trim our styrofoam. And so what we did is on the corners, we made these little notches to fit these pieces in, and it's a 2-inch piece of styrofoam and a 1-inch piece of styrofoam. That gives us 3 inches, and these channels are about 3 inches tall. And then what you can see is Kelly's been cutting these styrofoam boards and measuring them, and then show it from the side so you can see what she's done is basically cut a little channel, I don't know if you can see that or not, into the styrofoam. And let's go ahead and put one in and you can see. Alright, you ready to put this in?
Yep.
Alright, so what we're going to do is the channel that we cut out is going towards the front, or going towards whichever part of the beam is notched, and you just push it in. It's going to be actually a pretty tight fit. It's really a 2-person job, but I'm videotaping like my father always did whenever my mom had something really hard to do. And if it does it right, it actually is a really nice tight fit. And then we're going to cut 1-inch pieces, right? And do we notch our 1-inch pieces?
No, we do not.
That's right. It actually...
Ah.
You're going to edit that out, aren't you? Probably not. Alright, so, yeah, and actually the 1-inch, so there's our little cutting section there, and you can see the 2-inch and the 1-inch below it. The 1-inch actually, it actually compresses enough to fit underneath there, so we actually can just force it in, and it's a tight fit, but it actually seems to work. So that's foam, and foam is surprisingly messy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's actually a lot messier than we kind of expected, but it was pretty inexpensive. It was like, what, $120 for all the styrofoam, something like that, $150. It was a lot cheaper than I expected it to be. And it's messy to work with. The knives that we are using really aren't the right knives. So we're using just these like utility knives, and they're really not long enough to cut they actually work well on the 1-inch, but they're not long enough for the 2-inch. If you can get a longer blade, do that. And if you can get, you need to change the blades because they get dull. And surprisingly, styrofoam dulls out steel pretty quickly. Hi.
Hi.